Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Hi, Fa. How are you doing?
All good. How are you, John?
I'm good. I'm way better than last week. Remember, I was telling yes last week. I had to take an antigen test, and things got even worse. So I had to take a PCR test, and I even had
Mhm.
a chest X-ray just to check if I have COVID or pneumonia or whatever it is. So it was flu, as the doctor
Mhm.
concluded. So I'm way better now. I've been absent from the gym for a week. I
Mhm.
still have a
Mhm.
few cough, but way better because I'm able to go out now. Speaking of which, I'm
Me
about to
too.
sneeze. I'm
Me
about to
too,
sneeze.
John.
Should I sneeze
Feeling
now?
better. I got
Okay, go
my
ahead.
second booster. So I was down yesterday, but
Good for
now,
you. Good for
yeah.
you. Not everyone
Uh,
has the luxury to get a booster these days, Fat.
yeah. And so glad because for me, it's been 6 months since my last booster.
Mm.
And because I actively go out, I figured I should get it. And I was down yesterday. Like, Moderna really kicks you in the butt.
Okay. Trying to read the chat box. Jabi here says stress daw yan. Pahinga, pahinga kasi. You know, Jabi, I really get good stress. I think the reason why is because whenever I play tennis or I go to the gym, I don't change my shirts. So I
Mhm.
get sweaty the entire time. That's why. So there. Okay. Sorry, my screen is hanging up, but there you go. That's okay now. So welcome everyone. Before we start, I'm seeing some folks in the chat box, but I'm not seeing some exclamation marks. So could you please give us an exclamation mark just to energize everyone, just to see and check everyone's energy, please? We will be happy to see that. We need to
Hello,
comfort Fa because
hello.
she's currently in mourning because her beloved friends from BTS have finally decided to take a hiatus. So she's not feeling well. We have to comfort her in this session, right?
Hiatus
Fa-
from group activities, but they will still be active. It's just
yeah.
not the same level as we're used to.
Sorry, yeah, I'm really curious. So, ano yung feeling mo right now? Like, I just want to understand how it feels from someone who's a hardcore BTS fans. Like, what exactly are your thoughts right now? Before we start, ha? Sorry guys, ha? Before career, ito
Warm
muna.
up.
I want to know this.
No, it's just there's always high expectations between ARMY, the fan base, and BTS, the artists. So they
Mm.
just came back with a full length anthology album, and naturally, the expectation was they would do a world tour, especially because it's
Wait, sorry,
been two
anthology meaning
years.
it's the best of
Correct.
BTS?
Yes, through the
Okay.
years. And naturally, after every album, there's a world tour. Now, the world tour, the last they did was pre-pandemic pa. The recent ones they had were just, for a few songs in Las Vegas, in Los Angeles. But a world tour talaga was highly anticipated this year. And then they announced this. So that's the feeling.
Okay. So I hope you feel better. I think
It's
it will
okay.
only take maybe give it 2 years or 1 year. I'm sure there are already a lot of things in store. Perhaps they've even prepared already their solo albums. I don't know. Knowing how
It
efficient
is. It is.
their
The solo
their teams are.
albums, solo projects is really what's happening. There's also the question on their military service. So
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
that's also one. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But anyway, such is life. Happy to be
That is
here,
live.
John.
Okay, we're gonna check the participants now in the chat box. Mon Saspa says present. Ephraim Hamias says good
Mhm.
afternoon. Leila Claire says also watching from Laguna. So thank you for typing that in the chat box as well. So welcome. This is JY Consultancy and Ventures. So we specialize in organizational behavior, whether it be about public speaking, business writing, or motivation. We're here to help your employees propel themselves to success. So we conduct workshops, research, and consultations. And of course, these are some of the slew of clients we've engaged since 2013. If mabitin kayo after this session or you'd like to engage us by watching our past webinars, you can scan the QR code or you can copy the link into your browser. So take a photo, take a screenshot. Today's topic is going to be about managing conflicts, issues, or clarifications with your company about your benefits and compensation. Because I think ito yung isang issue ng mga employees eh. Papasok ka, you
Mm,
always look
mm,
forward to your salary, but we tend to
mm.
forget that the salary is as good as the kind, meaning the benefits.
Correct.
Because if you get
Correct.
sick, whatever you're going to be paying for is as good as cash. Is the
Mm-hmm.
company going to cover your health insurance, for
Mm-hmm.
example, right? So we're going to read some letters again from some folks, and then we're gonna be sharing our experiences and our thoughts about this. Pero before we answer the first question, diretso na ako ha. Mamimigay na tayo ng mga prizes because we do have one sponsor. I would like to thank our sponsor, Also Healthy Snacks. These are fun
Love,
flavored
love, love.
snacks made of fruits. Fan, natikman mo na, nakuha mo na ba yung freebies mo? Wala pa?
Not yet, but I'm always super
Not
excited
yet,
because they have
okay.
kimchi.
I know. So we're gonna give away 250 pesos worth of gift certificate, which is a voucher that you can claim in their Shopee store. All you need to do is to answer our trivia question. Pabilisan po to. The first person who gets to answer it right is going to win. So if you guys are ready, I'm gonna call out now the participants. By the way, Also Healthy is a proudly Filipino-owned company.
Ooh,
So
love it.
support local, right? And of course, it's guilt-free because these are dried fruit snacks.
Mhm,
Okay?
mhm.
So, very selfish ang aking question, by the way, ha? So, I was hoping that the followers will know this. So, my question is simple. Name the official URL address of where to search and register for the premium webinars of yours truly. So, yung ating mga booster confidence, business
Yeah.
writing, leadership, what's the URL? Okay? I want to see if our participants know this. So it's a website. It's www dot, and I need to know what that is. And I keep on mentioning this in all of our, how do you call this, of all of our webinars and engagements.
Mhm, mhm.
Jabi, i-exempt kita kasi, ano to, alam mo na to eh, right? Hindi ka pwedeng sumali dito. Tsaka, what you actually gave is the shortcut. So what I need to know is the complete URL. I think I got it na. Ayan, meron na ako
Yeah,
nakuha dito.
ito to.
Please mag-type ha. So, my winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Mr. Jeffrey Bautista.
Ah, yan, I
Congratulations,
see it.
Jeffrey. So, that's jonathanyabut.com/webinars. Ayan, very good. So,
Love
if you'd
it.
like to register, all the calendars are there for the rest of the month. Okay?
Favorite
So,
ko yung
Jeffrey,
kimchi
since
flavor.
kimchi daw ha. We're try to taste that also from the store. So Jeffrey, please send an email. Here's your instruction. Send an email to this address, marketing mktg at imosohealthy.com. Please take a photo or take a screenshot. So you can capture that now because I cannot forever display this. And then indicate in the subject 250 peso voucher, and then you can just mention my name. Okay? And we will make sure that you are going to receive your voucher as well. Congratulations, Jeffrey. Okay? Take a photo, marketing at imosohealthy.com, indicate the 250 peso gift certificate. Okay, I'll give the floor to you. Please read the first letter.
First letter, here we go. John, I am being asked by my manager to work for an additional 2 hours after my shift. And I was surprised that my last paycheck didn't have additional compensation for the additional 2 hours. Is
Mm-hmm.
this legal? Hmm.
Okay. May I share my take first?
Yes, please go ahead, John.
Okay, first and foremost, when you expect that you're gonna have additional pay, check first your contract of what kind of employment do you have.
Yep.
Because legally speaking, if your contract says that you are only have 8 hours a day, for example, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., from a legal perspective, there is such a thing as an overtime pay that you can
Mhm.
actually claim. Overtime pay can even refer to, for let's say, for example, working during holidays or working
Or
during weekends
weekends.
outside the working hours. However, please take note that certain contracts no longer require the company to pay you an overtime payment
Mm-hmm.
compensation. I'll give an example. I've been working in the marketing team for many organizations, telecommunications, aviation, and
Mm-hmm.
pharmaceutical. In my contract, the moment you become a manager, your
Yes, I was gonna
overtime
go there.
effort, right? Your overtime effort is already covered by your salary, such that the company does not anymore remunerate for the additional working hours beyond 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. So, whoever wrote this letter, I am not sure what kind of employment or
Mm-hmm.
position are you taking in your company right now. So, posible that this company is doing things illegal, or posible then na you're actually not entitled to that overtime pay. Okay? What's your take on this? I heard that you mentioned it's the same.
Aligned on your answers, no? Managers, I've worked for MSMEs, even multinational companies. A manager level usually do not have overtime pay. If
Mm-hmm.
it's entry level or contract based, typically rank and file, no, talagang dapat merong overtime pay, right?
That's right.
Some industries also, John, require you to be on standby technically. For example, when I was at a retail company, no, we do work Mondays to Fridays sa aming head office, but because peak business happens during weekends or holidays, sometimes you will get alerts, no, from your store. Syempre
Mm.
retail, tindahan yan.
Mm.
And that's where your time management can come in, because there are some concerns that really need to be addressed. So kailangan magtrabaho, right?
So wala
But
kang
there are
OT pay
also,
nun, pa?
wala, because I'm also manager level up.
Wow! May
But
ganun pala.
this is
I didn't know
where
that.
your time management skills also come in, because there are some concerns that are really urgent that need to be addressed right then and there, but there are some that can wait for Monday. So
Gotcha.
it's really a mixture, but to answer directly the question we have, it depends on your contract and the level.
You have.
Oo.
Pwede ba ako mag-blind item? Ayokong pangalanan tong
Sige,
company na 'to, eh, kasi the company still
sige.
exists. But I don't wanna give hints as well. Pero I am so surprised because this is ano pa ha, this is 12 years ago pa, 12 years ago.
Matagal na.
So,
Oh, go.
matagal na rin siya. But I don't know if this company still does it. This is a telecommunications company. Obviously, it's not Globe Telecom because that's where I came from. At syempre, hindi ko naman sisiraan si Globe Telecom. But this other, and there are more telecommunication companies these days. There are more than two, actually, apart from Globe Telecom. So itong company na to, nagulat ako nung nagpa-interview ako before. When I was interviewed,
Mm,
I was looking for a job during that time. When I was
mm.
interviewed, their contract states that I have to work Monday to Saturday.
6 days.
6 days.
Retail also typically is a 6-day work week.
But this is office-based, ha? This is office-based. So
Mm,
it's not like I have to go to a store and become a manager. It's really
mhm.
office-based. Like I have a desk. So ang sabi nila, sabi ko, bakit po 6 days? Like that's a lot for the same amount of money that I can get from another company. Sabi nila, kasi po ang trabaho dito is only 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So they're
Ah,
compensating for the extra hour. And at the back of my
mm,
head, I'm like, yeah, but really, do people go home at 4 p.m.? It's like most people go home at 5 or 6 anyway,
mhm, mhm.
right? So
John,
napapatrabaho sila. Sorry?
one more to add to that, since na-mention mo na, at ayoko rin mag-name
Name
ng
drop.
companies. But there are some companies, especially the smaller ones, no, who com- who have extra work Saturdays kung maraming holidays that fall on that month.
That's unfair, really.
Because it's like you're paying for that holiday, right? So you get to enjoy
Yeah.
that holiday, but because they required you to work on a certain Saturday, parang na-offset.
Okay.
I'm just saying it happens.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But again,
But
whoever wrote this letter, so it depends.
mm,
It will depend on your contract. It will depend on your level and your position. So please check it. If you notice, by the way, may
mm,
patterns na kami ni Farah eh, which is every time you ask this question, always check your contract because the contract is the Bible of your partnership. It will always be the
totoo.
basis. If ever you have to claim something in the court, you have to complain something about your company, it depends on the contract. And it's your
Mhm.
problem if you did not read it properly before you signed it. That's why,
Totoo
please do
yan.
so. Okay? All right, Fa, ang dami nating mga prizes for today. So mamimigay ulit tayo ng mga prize before we go to question number 2. Okay?
Daming
So I want to give
prize.
away 5 tickets to our upcoming workshop on June 24, Friday, The Art of Virtual Selling. So this is best for people who are into online selling or who are
Mhm.
entrepreneurs. It's an online bootcamp for sales agents and customer reps. The ticket is worth 799 pesos. We still have a few slots left. But for today, we're going to give away 5 free tickets to our lucky winners. So, Fa, could you please name, based on the chat box, who these people are? Let's call them out.
Sure, sure. Sige. Let's give one to the early
The
birds
early
that we had
birds. Okay,
kanina.
sige.
So, congratulations to Mon Saspa on Facebook.
Okay, Mon,
Congrats,
congratulations. First one.
Mon. LinkedIn naman. So, let's give to Joy Mirn Gitamondok from LinkedIn.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Ephraim Jamias, also on Facebook. Congratulations.
And then last
Um,
one.
And Gasmen from Facebook,
All right, congratulations. So
congratulations.
for all our 5 winners, please look at the bottom part of the screen. Meron diyang lumalabas na scrolling marquee. And please find that portion that says, contest winners should claim prize here. Pakikopya po ang link. You can take a screenshot and you need to submit your email address so we can send to you the Zoom link. Okay? Fa, let me read the second question. Before we go
Go
for
ahead.
that, exclamation marks naman sa ating mga participants, sa ating mga viewers, if you guys are learning something so far, you're reflecting something so far. Very good. Okay, so here's the next question. Let me read it. Jonathan and Farah, I just filed a
Mm.
3-day vacation leave 2 months from now. So, kunyari, if today is June, so September pa,
Mm.
August pa, mga August or September pa to. 2 months from now, and my manager is asking me, where am I going? And what will I be doing? I want to keep my trip private. Do I really need to share this? Oh, ikaw, what's your take? What's your take, Fa, about sharing the information to your manager, to your colleagues about your vacation?
As a manager, I do not ask this. So long as
Mm-hmm.
they file it
Hashtag sana
properly.
all, 'di ba? Hindi
Hashtag
naman kasi
sana
lahat,
all.
hindi lahat may mga marites kasing mga bosses na lahat
Yun
bawat
nga,
galaw
di
sa
ba?
buhay mo gustong tanungin.
So, for example, kung manunood siya ng BTS concert, di ba, wala na ako doon. So long as, for me as a manager, I just need to know that you filed it properly in our system and that you have plans on how to properly endorse any pending tasks or projects, who will be your
Agree.
OIC or who will be the person. Pero yung detalye of where you're going, eh, wala na ako sigurong itatanong doon. So,
Mhm.
my stand on this question is please keep it private. Creatively, siguro how to, syempre, tinanong ka na ng boss mo eh, diba?
Yeah, it's
So
not like you will say
maybe,
secret. You can say
oh,
that
hindi ka
eh.
rin gaganon. So maybe, John, this is your expertise. I would like to know,
Ah,
how would you
okay.
answer? How would you answer? Kasi for me, I really want to keep it private. So,
Yeah. Ako siguro what I will do is I will say it in a brushing way like, I'll just
mm,
be out with my family.
mm,
Ganon. Or I will just say something that's generic na, staycation lang with my friends. Something
mm.
that's like dismissive para magets niya yung tone na ayoko nang pag-usapan pa
Mm.
yung details.
And at the same
Nabanggit
time,
mo na.
siguro, add na don't worry, boss. I will make
Oo.
sure, I will
Yes.
make sure that the week before or a couple of days before, I've endorsed this, and that.
Agree. Because I think that's the reason why managers will ask about your
Mm-mm.
whereabouts. Kasi they want to know na, contactable ka ba during those 3 days? Baka mamaya during those
Oo.
3 days, you are going to a retreat that you have to submit your cell phone to someone else. So, gets ko
Mm-hmm.
naman. Right? So, on the flip side, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna turn the tables around. I think there's also benefit to letting your manager sometimes know what exactly is the intention for the VL, depending on the relationship that you have with your manager.
I was gonna
So
say
for
that. Mm-mm.
example, kunyari, I'm really close with my manager and my manager understands my personal needs. Let's say I have a daughter and it's gonna be
Mm-mm.
the first birthday of my daughter.
Mm-mm.
So I think if I have a good relationship with my boss, I will say it to her because when I tell her that this is going to be something so special for the first birthday of my daughter, there's going to be a higher chance that she will find a way to not disturb me at all during that 3-day leave. Versus her not knowing that it's going to be that special. Baka isipin na niya it's just your normal thing. I think
Correct.
sometimes it can work to your favor. I've done that before. Like, of course, I'll give you an example. Syempre, when I applied for Apprentice Asia at hindi pwedeng malaman ng iba kong kasama, I had to tell that to my boss.
Mm-mm.
Right? And
Mm-mm.
she totally understood the reason. Like, hi Mel, if you're watching, by the way. Yeah,
Shout out.
she totally understood that she cannot at all contact me because in
Mm-mm.
any reality TV show, you have to give up your cell phone, your passport, and everything to the organizers, to the producers. So yun. Pero ako rin, generally speaking, I don't think that managers should have. Uh,
Mm-mm.
I don't think you earn the privilege. Neither should you. Do you have the right to ask about it because VLs are part of the promised benefits,
Benefits.
right?
Correct.
Kaya pumirma ng kontrata ang empleyado na yan because sinabihan siya that if you become our employee, you are going to get this amount of vacation leaves. And they are unconditional, pending, of course, any, how do you call this, earthquake or acts of
Mm.
God emergencies
In
in
the
this way.
same way, John, as a manager, you also do not have to disclose to your direct reports if you're
Agree.
going to on a vacation leave kung para saan yon, right?
Yeah.
So just think of it that way na it's two-way.
Mm. Let me read some comments now. Sabi ni Mon Saspa here. First, VL is your me time. Second, you may
Mm.
opt not to share it. The, ano yung EE? Anong terminology to? Okay, baka mali lang yung aking pagbasa. The EE may just say, I just like to think things over. Third, baka employee to, no? The employee may update the manager what time the employee will be available to help. Yeah. I think the best way to manage your vacation leave is to have your ways of working. Can you still be contacted? Is it going to be in the afternoon? So that people don't panic na nawala ka bigla just because you
Mm-mm.
are indispensable. Okay?
Okay, okay.
Oh, ito, may question si Jabi which I think is very important. Sabi niya, but what do you do if they ask before they approve? Yun. So Jabi, that's what I mentioned kanina. I will give some information but not enough details to the point that, ang kaluluwa ko nabigay ko na sa kanya.
Mm-mm.
Right?
True.
So ako,
Especially if you're entitled pa to X number of
exactly.
days.
Yep. EE is employee. Okay.
Oh, yun pala. Mga
Can someone
tito-tita kasi
Yun
tayo.
nga, sorry. Can you guys tell me, is this an HR thing? I mean, I'm also an HR, how do you call it, an HR advocate here, but EE is not something that I use in my lingo, right? For someone who works with a lot of HR folks and, I'm in the business of consulting, EE is not in my terminology.
See,
It's
we're
usually
learning something
employee.
new. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, ayan. Yan ba ang bagong terminology? Is it a Gen Z thing?
Wag mo namang ilan sa
Lagi na lang
generation.
doon na lang lagi
Oo, lagi na lang
binabagulong.
china-charge sa generation.
Oo.
It's an
It's an
HR
HR term.
term.
Really? Because in my
Oh,
universe of HR, hindi EE ang tawag namin. We say employee. Or in most of
PMP.
baka in my universe of talents, we call them as talents.
Oo.
Talents ang tawag, not EE. Talent meaning talent 1, talent 2. Ayun.
KK.
Okay. Mostly nasa BPO daw kasi. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
probably it's a
you.
BPO thing. Yeah. Okay. All right. So thank you. Let's proceed to the next question now. Mamimigay ulit tayo ng prizes Second, it's our next prize now. So before we do that,
Generous talaga
can I
ng
please,
JYCV.
can I please get an exclamation mark? Are we learning something so far? Are we reflecting through the same conflicts we've had in the past? Very good. I hope you guys are. Thank you. O ayan, meron tayong natutunan. Sabi ni Pau Porazo, EE is employee, ER is
ER.
employer. Yes, BPO po. O ayan. It
Okay.
also
Thank
means,
you.
I have an idea na marami tayong BPO folks na nanonood. Perhaps you guys are just about
Hello.
to go to your shift, no? Siguro kakagising lang nila. Perhaps.
Or yung iba, kakatapos lang din ng shift.
Kakatapos lang din ng shift, pwede rin.
Mm.
Okay, so let's give away some tickets. This is June 29. Caption writing next week. Caption writing for online sellers and content creators. So we're gonna give you some ways on how to improve the attractability, the likability of the captions because no matter how good your photos and videos are, kung all that's ang caption mo, you might not be able to make the deal. So let's call out some participants again. Can I give you the floor to call out 5 winners, please?
Yes. Yes, please. So, first winner, thank you to Pau Porazo for the new learning on EE and
Okay, o sige,
ER.
Pao.
You
Yun ang
deserve it.
yun ang ambag namin sa iyo for enlightening us in today's session. Okay?
Correct.
Who else?
Another winner, let's give it to Christine on Facebook. Yun ang kanyang name on Facebook. So,
Okay.
congratulations. Let's
Congratulations.
also give it to Peachy. O, diba? Bakit ganun yung mga name nila?
Peachy.
Peachy
Peachy.
Why, diba? Congratulations. Also to Leo Wendell Cruz.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Leo Wendell Cruz, congratulations. And one last, Fat.
Lawrence J. Loregas.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Lawrence J. Loregas. To all the 5 winners, please look at the bottom part, the scrolling marquee. Do you see that? Please look at the contest winner should claim prize here. Paki-copy po ang link na yan. That's the portal that you need to enter your email address so we can contact you to give you the Zoom link for this webinar.
Okay.
Okay. All right, last question. Your turn to cover this.
Sure. Let's start. Jon and Farah, is it okay to ask about benefits during my job interview? For example, the insurance, phone, clothing allowance. because I'm concerned that the recruiter will think I'm just applying for the money. How can I raise this
Valid.
minus the awkwardness? Valid, valid.
Valid. Okay.
John, what
Um,
do you think?
I think it's totally fine to ask these questions because remember, you're not desperate for the job. You're offering the
Mm-hmm.
value and contribution to the organization. You are as needed by the organization as you need this company for your livelihood as well. However, I'm going to make a caveat. It's not healthy nor professional to ask it immediately at the start of the job interview,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Taste din
I
eh, no?
actually right? I actually have some reservations because I won't probably even ask it sa pinaka first interview if I know that this job application has two or three layers, which usually the
Mm-hmm.
HR says na, there are going to be three layers. There's going to be the HR, the hiring
Correct.
manager, and the director. I
Mm-hmm.
probably will only ask it at the last part when I've already gone through the stages,
Correct.
right? Because I want to manage that. Again, it's an image, right? It's an image
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand
Mm-hmm.
that packaging also matters here because if you are really applying for a good company in the first place, likely the compensation and the package are going to be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Magkakatalo lang yan,
Mm-hmm.
for example, like, is the car plan 50-50 or 100%? Right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is not to belittle that you're not supposed to mind them, but I will ask only at the latter part. And sometimes it's actually the HR who opens the discussion
Correct.
for it,
Yes.
right? So I will probably say it dun sa portion na sasabihin ni HR na, okay, John, we're in the latter part of the application now. May
We're
I
ready to
ask,
give you an offer. Ganyan.
yes, ready to give you the offers. What is your asking price? How do you call this? And what are the benefits or remunerations are you expecting? So
Mm-hmm.
usually a good HR, kaya usually because it's not all of them, will
Mm-mm.
actually open the floor for you instead of
Mm-mm.
making it awkward na ikaw pang magbubukas ng conversation for it. Okay? How about you, Fa? What's your take?
Aligned, aligned. So first on the first question, no, is it okay to ask about benefits? Big yes. Definitely. The benefits are equally important when making a decision. Especially, syempre, lilipat ka from one company to another. So you want to make sure it's a good choice, wise choice. Also, if you're choosing between different companies, you would want to make the superior choice, right? So it's
Of
definitely
course.
okay, but then again, as John mentioned, the grace no also should be considered, because for me personally, if your interviewer is your direct manager, it's not in good taste to ask about compensation, because
Agree.
what you should be talking about is the role, no? So
Mm-mm.
the purpose of the role, the expectations, mas ganon. So ako as a hiring manager, if the person was more concerned about the compensation than the role, medyo mapapaisip ako doon, no? But if
Yeah, this is
your
to say na,
interviewer,
kahit some people may not be judgmental, talagang it's hard not to
it
think about
can.
you,
Oo.
right?
Oo. And then, of course, if the interviewer is HR and the topic is on compensation and benefits, that is the best time to raise this and to discuss this. Because number one, siya
Mm-hmm.
din yung tamang person who can answer your question. Sometimes some
Yep.
interviewers also do not know what is the
Mm-hmm.
offer or the complete
Agree.
package, right? So consider those. Also remember that non-cash benefits will stack up on the quality of life you can expect for
I
this job.
love that statement. Quality of life
It's,
talaga.
'di ba? Kasi like John, imagine my first job, our pharma company together. The winning the winning thing it had as an edge versus my other options, which was all lahat multinational management trainee positions. But the winning item really was a car plan with a very generous gas
That's
allowance.
true. Uy,
And it
papangalanda
was,
ka lang namin ha. We're just gonna shout out
oo,
ha. Our first ever job from GlaxoSmithKline. We're so happy because, you're a freshman, graduate from university, unang
oh
sabak
my
mo sa
gosh,
marketing, car plan is
may car
100%.
plan?
You get the car.
Yeah, 100%.
With
And I
gas! Oh my
was
gosh,
with
with
gas,
gas.
with gas. And remember, back then, as a fresh graduate, dude, I didn't have to commute from Pasig to Makati. It was such a
Yep.
big non-cash
At
benefit
wala pang traffic nun, so
for
ang sarap pa
me.
mag-drive, di ba?
Correct, correct. So these
Yan.
things add up, no? They stack up, and quality of life at the end of it
Mm.
I know cash is king, but at the end of the day, it all adds up.
Mm. May I also add, because we're in the time of being connected technologically with a lot of people, it's easy to just message someone and get a response after a few seconds. So if you're applying for a
Mm-mm.
job that you know someone else has the same position, it doesn't hurt to ask them,
Oo.
right? Because
Mm-mm.
likely if you're in the same position, you're gonna have at par compensation. You may not have the same cash because it may be dependent on the offer, but likely your benefits will be almost the same.
Correct. Correct.
So use that as a route. If you find it awkward to ask it, use that as a route, as a basis.
Mm-hmm.
Or ask information from your friends or whoever referred you to the job, and then compare it to the
Yes.
offer. Compare it to the offering of the HR. Right? Caveat also ha, when you raise this issue like, oh, bakit yung kakilala ko nagtatrabaho sa inyo, may ganito siya. When you raise that, please do not name the person. Just
Mm-mm.
mention that
Mm-mm.
you have a friend because you don't want to incriminate that person, because sometimes some HR do offer differently across different employees. Iba-iba pa
Or
rin yan.
levels.
Or levels. Yes.
Mm-mm.
Ayan. Oy, meron akong gustong bang ano dito. Sabi ni Jenny, what if yung promised salary hindi nasunod nung hired na po? Then no contract. Aba,
Oh,
mahirap yan. Never and never say yes if there
oo.
is no
Actually,
contract.
number
Walang
one,
papel.
oo.
Pag walang papel, talo ka.
Oo.
Linlin. So I'm
Unfortunately.
just gonna call that out. It doesn't have to be a physical paper. If it's documented on email or SMS, that is still admissible in court.
Email is paper
So
trail. So,
right, di
yes.
ba? So at least meron dapat pinanggagalingan kung saan sinabi yung promised salary.
Mm-mm.
Okay? And contract means may bearing dapat. May kung pwede, like it's a literally an agreement.
Oo. Signed ideally.
Mm. Sabi ni Christine, benefits, big yes, because you are entitled naman kapag na-hire ka na. Of course. That's right.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else we'd like? Oh, ayan, one more from Yusef. Yes, and mostly it is also discussed in detail after the employee is hired. Yan. Agree. Pero nga, Yusef, ang issue dito is, before I even say yes, am I actually getting the right benefits?
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
Before we end pa, I need to highlight this importantly kasi please take note that, for example lang yung health insurance, which is I think the most important, medyo sacred yan. Kasi health insurance can
Mm-hmm.
cover your health and your family.
Your
Dalawang klase ng
beneficiaries,
insurance.
yes.
Dalawang klase ng insurance. May insurance na group insurance at may individual insurance. What does that mean? Individual insurance means if something happens to you, whatever was promised as a claim, you get it, no questions asked.
Mm.
Pending,
Mm-mm.
of course, the conditions. A group insurance is if the company, all the 100 employees, are insured with 1 million pesos, sinishare po yan ng lahat ng empleyado. Which
Mm.
means, if one of you, let's say, got cancer, knock on wood, and the person, naubos na yung 1 million, it means that the rest of the other employees cannot claim anymore kasi may naunang
Is it
nang
shared?
nakagamit. Because it's shared. So sometimes you have to ask for those things because pwedeng palabasin na, uy, may insurance ka. So at the back of your mind, you think like, okay naman pala ako, may insurance ako eh. And then something
Yung
happens to
pala
someone,
shared.
naunahan ka na. So is it a group insurance or is it an individual insurance? For example. Ayan. By the way, nagabenta po ako na, I'm kidding, biglang ganun pala si Jonathan. No? All right. Okay. So, and with that, we're going to end our session now. Thank you again for a delightful
Wow.
conversation with you.
6:36 na agad. Thank you. Thank you
Yes, ang
always
bilis, di
because
ba? Parang
I'm
gusto natin
learning. I'm learning a
magchikahan.
lot.
But of course, we have to end this now. Okay? And of course, to our participants, before we end, could you please give us naman a heart and a like? I'm trying to look at the chat box. Wala kayong masyadong likes and hearts. Would be great to see that, please. It will help us improve our social media algorithm. Right? Thank you. And last commercial, if you're up for listening to podcasts, may we invite you to listen to our podcast, From Grit to Great. You can scan the QR code or copy the link into your browser. Okay?
Mhm.
So, see you in the next episode. And if you have any career issues, this is my email address. I will leave it behind. Thank you and bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.